Today, we're going to be talking about a coolant leak in a Mark IV Jetta wagon. This guy's a 2002. My wife was driving and the coolant light came on and then the AC stopped working and she came right back home. One thing, when you have a coolant leak, if the temperature gate light comes on in the car, shut it off immediately, as soon as possible. Park it safe and shut the car off and see what's happening. Otherwise, the engine could seize up. That's really bad. So today I got Sonny helping me here. So we're going to be pulling this guy apart. But what happened was we pulled back in. A bunch of fluid poured out onto the concrete or asphalt. Came in here and found a broken hose. So it's a coolant leak on a 2002 Mark IV Jetta. Let's take a look. Slow. Oh, it's the 2-point slow. So this isn't the 1.8 turbo. It's that guy.
No turbo here.
No, sir. And it's coming from this guy here. It is a hard plastic junction. This is the new part. Boom, right there. And that's got to go into there. So we got to disconnect a bunch of hoses. This just, you can pop off and move to the side. Super easy. And then we got to start disconnecting hoses. Tools needed. Pair of pliers. I got this. There's a knife in there too, and some other tools. Nice handy thing. Another set of pliers, just in case, backup pliers. And a 10 millimeter socket with extension. And then always a couple zip ties.
Pretty simple, just this hose, little connection hose here to the pump here. Just gotta remove all these little clamps and this little sensor here. It's all pretty simple. There we go. Move that connection. Then you have a connection or a little clamp here. Looks like clamp right down here too, and then two 10 millimeter little screw heads or bolts. That should come right out if I can get in there.
Now, one nice thing is living in this day and age, if you have a cell phone, I was able to put my phone down in here and take a picture and see exactly what part number it was.
That was nice. Made things a lot easier.
Let's see, what's the part number on this guy? Yeah, so this guy is a PA 6.6 GF30 classic. So yeah, that guy right here we'll see. So this repair.
Look at that. Look how brittle it was. It just snapped right off.
Yep.
So we got to get that out of there later.
So yeah, the part was so brittle that it just by trying to take the hose clamp off, it just snapped off.
Now this isn't really the proper tool to use to get these clamps off. There's a special tool that is on a cable and it can go down there and clamps it, but for the sake of this repair, I don't think it's necessary. Yeah, look how brittle that was. Wow, it just broke right apart. We can get all that out later.
So we got a 10 mil here.
Now, it normally isn't long enough, but because of what we have here, you just kind of go down here. There's a bolt right inside there that holds the little piece on. There's a bolt right there. They should both be loose. If I can get my fat fingers in there. That one's not loose. This one is. It's come off pretty easy. Sometimes these can get seized though. There we go. Looks like the stud's coming with this one. Normally it's just a bolt here, but it looks like it. Oh, it's one piece.
Huh.
Oh, look at that. Save that for later. This last piece here. This one's pretty stiff. It's not coming out so easy.
All right, and we're trying to get this okay. So yeah.
All right. Pretty brittle.
Brittle?
Well, it's loose now.
Oh, there's a hose holder on there.
Yeah, I can get that off though. There's another bolt right behind it.
Oh, it's a double bolt system, guys.
It's pretty simple.
Look down.
It's annoying.
Down in there, there's
another bolt behind the bolt.
Behind that bolt.
That's alright, we can get around it. We got a socket.
So apparently this is a pretty common thing to break. This and then
any plastic really.
Yeah, any plastic. This car is how old? 2002? It's 2019.
17?
17 years old. Okay, math.
Jesus.
Math, folks. So we just got the second bolt off. This guy right here, this is a hose. If you can just tug this up out of the way, there's a little slot, but there's a bolt behind here and a bolt behind here. You got to get that off, and then this guy comes off, this junction that we're replacing. And so we're just pulling these connectors out, these broken plastic connectors. Boom. And any of these can fail. So if you have a major leak, we have a junction like right here. Plastic. That's 14 years old. You know, if you buy it used, you never know quite how old it is. So we got that out. And then one thing I noticed, this stuff can kind of feel like oil, but it's just concentrated coolant. Yeah. So it's not an oil leak. It is just coolant.
So right here, this little piece is a connection for the trans cooler. So you have the transmission fluid flowing through here and the coolant flowing through there to cool off the transmission fluid.
Cool. So that's
mount it back up.
That's the junction we're replacing. So then we're just throwing our bolts back in.
Can't really fit it in there. Got a fat finger.
Cool. So we just got both of those bolts tightened. There's one on the bottom, one on the top. So now we're gonna connect this this hose right here.
This comes with a little 10 mil head here that just to clamp it on. That's all it does. Now I just need my little wrench here.
Bolt it on. This is a 10 mil wrench.
Once we get it on, then I can just kind of screw it on there. Can't do that angle. There we go.
So we just connected our two hoses here. They just slide right on, and the hose clamps are right here and right here. So
the last thing is this sensor, temperature sensor right here has got to come out. It's got to go into the new one.
Cool.
Pretty simple. You just got a little clip here
that just pops out.
Right here, as you can see, it comes right out. Then it has a special O-ring in there to help seal it. And this should have the O-ring in it, which it doesn't, so we gotta get this one out of here.
Make sure you pop that O-ring.
You need that O-ring, or else it will not work. If I can get it in there. See if I can put it on here, actually, it might work. Cool. So it goes on there just like that. And it should just kind of seat itself right there.
Hey, get over.
Ooh.
That just broke. Well, we're gonna be zip tying that in. The clip just broke.
Yeah, the little plastic clip. It's just cheap generic plastic.
All right, I do not recommend you do this. Do this at your own risk. This is not a factory fix, but this plastic piece only comes with the sensor. It doesn't come with this part. It broke, so we have to zip tie the temperature sensor back in there. We use quite a few, as you can see, to get this going.
Yeah, don't do this.
This is not a factory fix at all.
If you can see, it's nice and secure, and these are nice and tight without breaking it.
This is a component that's under a little bit of pressure, so if you can get that part, I'm going to probably try to get it at some point. We'll see. Hopefully it doesn't blow up. Dude. Plugging these guys in.
They snap in there pretty easy.
Boom. That's connected.
Nice and tight.
We got we're connecting all our
hose too. I disconnect this one to get the part out. You got to reconnect this one. It goes to the cooling system as well.
Yep. So really just a bunch of hose clamps. We got them back on. This guy, that guy. It's actually pretty simple. This repair was a lot less painful than I thought. Now we're gonna just add some coolant and get rocking. There's the engine cover. We got that back on.
We need to dilute this.
Cool. A little bit of Volkswagen
yeah, when you get Volkswagen coolant, it does come concentrated. So I brought another jug to dilute it 50-50.
Cool. So now that we got this all mixed up, we're gonna fill our reservoir to the proper level. You don't want to fill it up. Look for the gauge. It needs room to expand because it gets hot.
Now there's going to be air in the system, so it'll burp a little bit. As you're running it initially, you'll see some bubbles come up. That's pretty normal until the bubbles stop.
All right, moment of truth comes on, and we'll pop out here. see. Is it spraying coolant? Am I gonna get sprayed in the face with hot coolant today?
There's no cap, there's no pressure.
Oh, hold on, we gotta put the pressure on.
So I left it open so that I can watch the level go down as it sucks in the coolant. Over a few minutes, you should see it drop.
So I'm gonna rev this up to get that fluid pumping through. We're letting this guy run and letting that level drop, get any bubbles out of the system, get it pumping. Check over here, make sure our zip tie rig is working. Looks like nothing's spraying out, so we're good to go. So yeah, it's burping a pretty good amount, so we're going to let it run for 2 to 3 minutes and add as needed this coolant. All right, so we've let it run a few minutes. Sonny's gonna hop in here, rev it up. Look at that beast. 2.0.
It goes to 190 Fahrenheit and it just stays there.
Cool, yeah, so we're at 190?
Yeah, just about. I'm gonna make sure once it heats up, it stays at 190. That way we know the thermostat's opening up as it should.
So another thing that we're waiting is for the fan to come on, and it just came on. So once the fan comes on, then you know that the temperature, the thermostat's working and sending a signal to turn on the fan.